Y'all know who my name is. Cool, live, fresh. But you call me Micey, man. Okay. But y'all can see today we're gonna be back to daughters being brutally honest with their mom. You know, all honesty, guys, I feel like everybody had a moment when they want to be brutally honest with their parent. Like I can say with my mom, it'd be times where she'd just come home yelling, just fuss. You know how moms are, you know how parents is. Just yelling, telling us to clean this, clean that. Sometimes, bro, I ain't gonna clap, bro. I wanna just tell my mom, shut the F up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be quiet, cause you keep yelling at me. I'm a grown man. I don't need nobody yelling at me and fussing at me, bro. I'm a grown man, bro. I don't need nobody telling me what to do, this, that, and the third. Okay, I understand, but I don't need you yelling at me, yelling in my ear, bro, and threatening to take my phone. You see what I'm saying? I'm too old for you to be taking my phone. I'm a grown man. You talking about taking my phone, but you know I love my mom, but I'm just giving an example, guys. I feel like I'm too old for that, but you know that's just being brutally honest. So we finna go ahead and get straight to this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, man, let's get into it. Let's go. Ooh. Alright, here we go. It's right here. I already got it set up too.
I was in middle school and go through it, so.
How often?
And in high school.
How often?
Very often.
Dang.
Sometimes our closest relationships
some
are
drama,
the
some
toughest
beef
ones.
in this mug.
We're about to unpack the most defining relationship of our lives. I'm Kot Takahashi, and today's episode of Split Decision is about mothers and daughters.
Right.
Can mothers and daughters ever truly be friends? Let's see how close.
Oh my bad. Yes, that's actually true. They can be friends. But I feel like women work better outside of being in the same house though, because you know, I don't know what it is, but women don't like another woman telling them what to do. You see what I'm saying? That's why the women don't mix together well in the same house, guys. And women like to control the house. So, two women in the same house, yeah, that ain't low key gonna fly.
You really are. Are you ready, everybody?
Yes.
Let's do this. I feel responsible for your happiness. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and turn around. Rachel, let's start with you. You feel responsible for your mother's happiness?
We're very connected to each other, and
Yeah.
I think we've talked about when she feels sad, I feel sad. When she's happy, I'm happy.
Artista,
Sound like to me
you
y'all
feel
both are very
responsible for your daughter's
emotional.
happiness.
I do, and I'm really happy you don't feel responsible for mine. I just think that it's like, my daughter is my total sunshine. Like, all she has to do is exist, and it makes me happy. And I don't know why that is.
Now, us four at
I
the end
ain't
here,
gonna
we say,
flex though. Daughters does bring our mom their happiness, but at the same time, you gotta understand, basically, for women, your daughter's basically a younger version of you. So the way they act is probably a way that you act too. You just can't see it because you're being so blinded by the fact that it's your daughter. You don't see yourself acting like that, but you can act like that. That's your daughter.
we're not. We don't feel
another version
responsible
of you, man.
for happiness.
I got a question. Now we talking about daughters. It's this girl I'm currently talking to. I mess with her, you know, some other girl. She cool, like she my little vibe, whatever. But we was talking about kids, so I guess she older. She want kids, but we was talking about kids. She said she want a kid now, gang. And I was saying so I'm just considered. I'm like, so what would happen if I had got you pregnant right now? You know what I'm saying? What if I had slipped her while I'm hitting that? I'm like, You see what I'm saying? I was telling him what if you get pregnant? Will you kill the baby? Will you get an abortion? She talking about nah. I'm like, what you mean? She like, I'm not getting an abortion. I'll keep it. In my mind, I'm like, bro, I'm only 18, guys. I can't have no baby this early, my nigga. I just really graduated from high school, my nigga. I can't have no kid at 18, bro. I'm not ready. Do y'all think I should run chat? Do y'all think I should not crush? Not raw, not cause she said she don't do condom, but it's I ain't gonna lie. What if it's something slip? What if pre-cum slip, gang? I'm not trying to have no kids, bro. You see what I'm saying? I know this don't have nothing to do with the video, but it's bro, should I run chat? Am I cooked?
Hope I have taught you everything you need to be responsible for your own happiness. That's super
I'm gonna put this up
important
for
to
y'all
me.
right now so
And
you
if
can see
you're
this.
looking to me to help you feel better or expect that I should, what are you going to do when I'm gone? I want you to focus on your own life. I believe you are your own being. I believe You passed through me to be your own person, and I want to facilitate that.
I feel like I do want to contribute to her happiness, but
And you do.
But us as her children shouldn't be the sole source. So you have to find it from. She always taught us that you have to find it from within yourself. So obviously, I want to contribute to your happiness, not detract from that.
I'm
Everyone
just
give her
not
their mom
comfortable
happiness.
with the emotional
But women
part.
are very bipolar.
and,
so.
and you know that. When you and I get together and we talk about things and we cry together, it's very personal. So, but as far as her happiness, no, I do not feel responsible for Heather's happiness. The goal
I ain't
in
gonna lie,
raising
Heather
her
Heather low key bad.
was go live your life. And I am here for everything.
I feel like they raised us to be really independent and to do what we want. And so I have respect, but ultimately I'm gonna do what I want. It's my life, not theirs.
See,
If it comes down
that what
to
them bots be
just
saying,
me
they gonna
doing
do what
something
they
that
want.
feels
See, that
authentically
be the
aligned
one
with
that's over
myself,
their
or
body.
like keeping my parents happy with how I'm living my life, I'm almost always gonna choose what I wanna do.
I may not like
Yeah,
all
you
of her
sound like a problem.
decisions. It may just crush me. But we
Basically,
did our job,
her
and
daughter
I am
did some
so
wild stuff.
proud of
That
that.
basically was a little. They had some stuff going on where the girl basically got crushed. The daughter, you know what I'm saying? That basically what happened, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nobody gonna tell you, but I'm gonna tell you, gang. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you what's real. Somebody got crushed.
Being the eldest daughter can be so annoying and stressful at times.
Hey man, why I'm getting
My
on
10
these ads?
sisters and 5 brothers drive me up the wall with their problems. I usually have no one else to turn to. Thankfully, I found that Seeing a Therapist channel. Now get out of here.
All right, jeez.
Wait, you forgot your lunch.
You have invaded my privacy. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1.
Here we go. My bad. I got it done there, guys.
All right, go ahead and turn around.
I knew that.
Mothers say no, but
See,
got
that's the
some
thing with
privacy
parents,
invasions
bro.
up here
I feel like
on
they don't
this
know
side.
no
Okay,
privacy.
Taya, so
like
you
they
felt
don't
like
give
your mother
kids
has
our
invaded your
privacy,
privacy.
bro.
Well, I know for sure that
You see
there's
what I'm
some Snapchat pictures and memories that you've seen behind my back.
I put spyware on all my children's phones. I
But
sure
spyware.
See,
did.
that's like
I
crazy, bro. Like you don't gotta act like that, bro. Parents act like they didn't used to be wild like us at one point. So why are you bringing that on to me, bro? That junk is crazy, bro. That ain't kind of obsessive to y'all.
Sure did. You know that software that they're like, do you think your boyfriend's cheating on you? Yeah. I put it on all the phones. I put it on all the internet connections
Yeah,
in
you
my
got
home,
cheated
all
on
the
probably a couple
computers.
So you know, like every website.
Every
tell.
single text,
Yeah.
every
I can
single
tell by your
picture,
player, dude.
every single call, every
Wow.
single email.
That is
So,
wild.
daughters, would you be okay with your mom looking at your emails and texts and snaps?
Absolutely not.
That's
Absolutely
crazy,
not.
bro.
No, I really don't like that feeling in my body. It's making me feel like my tummy is feeling weird. It's just, I don't know. Like location, I'll take that. Just like for safety, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
Text and stuff like that, I don't know. I just gotta feel safe somewhere. Even when I'm writing in my journal, I'm thinking about how, oh, after I die, someone's gonna read this one day. And it freaks me out. And like, it makes me wanna hold back and not say like my weirdest intrusive thoughts. And so to imagine someone like having access to that without me giving that to them freaks
That's
me out.
why.
Well, the
Damn,
question
bro,
was
you don't know
asked when
your
she was
options, so
younger,
you can always
would you
burn
ever
it,
read
but
my
you don't know
diary
when you're
if
gonna
you ever
die.
found it?
Damn, I
Absolutely
think
not.
mom's got some good
I,
player
as a
pills.
parent, I feel it's my responsibility to give them that space.
Like,
I want
I
them
understand
safe.
that. I feel like it's a
Absolutely.
responsibility
And
too,
there
but
are-
I feel like
remember that time
at
you were
one point,
talking
they
to somebody on?
Parents gotta understand where the privacy
Yeah.
What
comes
happened?
in.
When I was like 6, I was on MSN Messenger, messaging some friends, and a random person started messaging me. And we started getting along, and they said something like, okay, well, I'll pick you up. I have a green car. We can go get some ice cream or something. And, you know, my mom has taught me so much about stranger danger. And also, by this point, I knew better. But I went upstairs to go get changed, and my whole family was waiting for me. My brother had changed his name on MSN to, like, lure me into that situation to see
you're
how
dumb.
I'd react. And I was like,
you
oh, I
were
was just
6
coming up
years
to
old.
put my socks on to go play with the dogs. I wasn't going. And they're like, we saw the messages.
Dang, they
So
set
that
you up.
I appreciated.
That
And
was
Izzy,
probably
I
a
wanna know
fact,
why
facts,
are you
facts.
standing on yes?
W mom
I knew you were gonna come to me. I know. I was like making eye contact, and I saw her looking at me too. Well, she used to take my phone when I was in middle
They
school
look just
and
alike.
go through it. So,
How
and,
often?
and in high school,
How often?
very often. And my iPod Touch, so I had to text people from my iPod Touch and then delete them when I'd be talking to my boy. I would literally say, "Oh, sorry, my mom's about to take. I'm about to look through."
Oh, so it would happen pretty often. When did she stop doing that?
Maybe 17.
17.
I think so.
Your
Yeah.
phone checked at
You can tell me if I'm
17 years
wrong.
of
I
age,
remember
like
it being
the most
I feel like
abominable
that's
thing ever.
I remember doing it. Here's the thing: when you guys were really the first generation to have cell phones, we did not have cell phones, and I was a mom blogger at the very beginning.
Okay, I can understand that.
When blogging started happening. And
social media has
digital
just now
world
raised
was
like
really
a lot
sort
more
of coming
technology.
alive, and
Yeah,
what were the implications of it. But I wasn't sure what she was taking in from the outside world, and so every now and then, maybe every 6 months or so, maybe once a year,
or 6 weeks.
it was not. It was not felt like that because you were younger. Time was different. Thank you very much.
That's what it's fist bump.
I also stepped to this line because there was another thing that I think she was getting at just with the blogging.
Now, I
is
understand
there's
that, though.
still a lot when you Google my name. There's still
My
a lot
mom
of
used to go. I remember one time, bro. I'm just not pausing.
information about me as a child
One
online.
time, bro, I had
which
fell asleep watching
What
Twitter,
kind of-
like you know what I'm saying.
just articles that she
18
wrote,
plus,
which
you know
is
what I'm
fine,
saying?
but it's just
I had fell asleep watching
now
Twitter, right?
when you Google my
And
name and
then-
I'm 24.
I don't know. I just fell
there's
asleep.
LA
I guess I
Times
wanted to listen, but I
articles
didn't do
about
it. And I
me.
fell asleep. I woke up
And
like
everything.
my mom had
Good
my phone.
information
She was
or like what?
watching.
One of them was not. One of them was not great.
The
It
Twitter
was-
that I had on.
It was
I'm
basically
like,
saying
no,
that I
Mom,
was
that's not what it
a
is. She said,
when I
"Why
was
do you
a
have
bitch.
this
When
on
I was
your
very
phone?"
young.
I'm like, Mama, that's
feel like
not me. I
context
can't
is
control
really
the
the thing
internet.
for
Basically, I got caught by
What exactly
I feel
happened?
like I
Oh, Twitter. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro.
my writing was about my perspective on parenting and sharing that experience. And it was a really hard push and pull because it was my livelihood and it was also their lives. And at some point, you guys were, I probably want to say, by the time you reached middle school, I stopped doing it because I felt like the stories were no longer mine to tell. Like when they were younger and they're talking about a story about how all the balls are getting thrown up into the tree and I end up keep buying new basketballs and they're like stories like that. And there were also stories about, I at that time was dating my now husband. We've been together for almost 18 years,
Damn, that's
my
a long
second
time.
husband. And
I
so it was a
don't
lot
believe
of
in the
conversation
husband thing.
about
I mean, the
what
husband
it's like
wife
to
thing,
be
like,
dating as a
wife
mom
don't
and
mean that to me, really.
how are my kids
It ain't-
dealing
that
with
word
this
ain't
person
powerful.
in my
Child.
life. Yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
married.
Child care.
And
Like, I
but
married
there was
somebody, but that
also
don't mean a lot to me, for real.
when she was really little, I was dealing with a lot of different things. You had some occupational therapy and you had physical therapy, and it was a lot. It was a lot for me, and I needed the outlet for it. So I wrote a lot of these stories, but they were always very intentionally from the perspective of how much I love my children, how I am trying so hard as a parent, how I'm trying to help them be great
feel that.
kids. And in one
end of the day, y'all
story,
parents, y'all just
she
want
has
y'all
this little
kids to
sister.
be
Her
safe, but
sister
y'all be
follows
too
her
little
around
bit- a little
everywhere,
bit
loved her,
strict,
loved her,
but
loved her.
it's getting
And
better, though, with
Izzy
younger
didn't want
parents.
anything to do with her, and it broke my heart because I'm a little sister. So I really connected with it, and I just lost it, and I feel so bad about it still to this day. But I wrote a story called
They
My
look
Daughter's a
just
Bitch,
like
and it's
too,
not
bro.
my fault.
You gotta understand. You gotta understand.
And
she
she
used to be.
was 9.
She's
Oh, and I
she's
said
the
I wasn't
varsity
required.
version of
Yeah.
her now. She used to be
sorry.
varsity, but now she got.
I
older,
know.
so
It
now
was a
she's
long
JV.
time ago.
It was
a long time ago.
It was, and it was
hurts
very
me.
much. I know it hurt me too. And I go back and I look at it. And by the way, implication: what you write online stays with you
Yes.
forever.
Yeah, it is true.
And,
Yeah, whatever. That's what I'm
and
saying. But like,
I-
there's so much stuff I don't.
it was-
get on
I
my
recognize
phone,
that
bruh,
was
and sent to people. I wonder if I
Definitely
blew
the
up.
worst thing. I
How-
can like feel the
man,
science in there. It was
I
the
might be
worst thing I
cooked,
ever wrote. But it also, if you
I might
read
end up
it,
like Diddy.
I was really
Nah,
good
I'll
at
play it.
clickbait
That's
titles.
wild.
So
That's
just know
wild.
that
That's
that was the
wild. That's
title.
wild. That's wild.
But it was really about understanding and sympathizing
That nigga,
a
that's
younger
wild. That nigga was human
sister's
trafficking
view.
with kids and
And the
stuff.
final thing
That ain't
of
me
my
game.
story was Izzy was beginning to come around, and that I noticed at the end of one night, like you still weren't smiling, and so the end of it was you can
The
lead a
girl
horse
with
to
the
water,
green-
but you can't make her
The
smile.
girl with the green.
And
her mom cool.
But it blew
and
up.
No, it's just something that comes up when you Google my
I
name.
see.
You might be able to find it. Honestly, we didn't in 2009. The internet was so different. Like I
Yeah, it
don't
was,
blame
fam.
her
It's not
at all. Obviously, our
2024, bro.
relationship is
It
much
was
better
just
now. My
2019,
relationship with my
bro.
sister is much better. I mean, I was
Dang, bro, this time
9,
going by
but
fast,
it's just funny
But it
because
still follows you around. Like you're
Yeah, because-
applying for jobs, or you're doing things, and people remember your name.
We can't hire her. She was a bitch when she was 9.
She was a bitch when she was 9, but maybe they don't see the date. Oh, January 1st, 2009, and they're like, oh, that was 15 years ago. And I don't resent her at all for that. I don't love that it's still online when you Google my name.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. There's nothing. Are we allowed to? Are we allowed to leave
You're
this?
allowed.
It's okay. It's okay.
I find it hard to be 100% honest with you.
I
Make
can't-
your split decisions
it
in
depends on my
3,
parents.
2, 1.
I can tell my dad a lot of stuff. I even told my dad like how many.
All right, go
bodies
ahead and
stuff
turn
like that,
around.
so-
All right, I am calling y'all out. Parents and kids are 100% honest.
I don't need to tell her everything all the time, every thought that goes through my head, but if I wanted to, I could.
Do you feel safe enough with me?
Mostly, actually.
Are there
yeah.
things that
It
you
depends what
just
you
don't
do,
feel
the
comfortable
type of activity.
sharing with your mom?
I
Feel 100% safe sharing for whatever reason.
No, I think I've like had to ease my parents into accepting me 100% for who I am, and so they're gonna hear about dates, and they're gonna hear that I like slept over at someone's house sometimes, or last night I smoked weed in front of my mom, which I don't know if I've ever done, but it's just like, yeah, you're staying at my house and I smoke weed, so I'm gonna smoke, but that feels like. It's like we're just kind of inching towards 100% honesty
Yeah,
with
fast,
those
you
kind
gotta
of
understand
things.
that's your kid.
I came out to my
It's
parents
my
about a
house. You
year
can't
ago,
tell me what to do
and
in
I
my
was
house,
really
then.
nervous about their response. But again, I was like, this is my life, and you literally just got to deal with it, or you're not gonna be part of it. And that's just kind of how it goes. But I am kind of like interested in my first girl, and I'm curious how my mom will handle that if I end up dating this girl.
Nah, I don't agree.
And like,
How do you think you would handle that if she dated a girl?
Well, if she dated a girl, she dates a girl. But I love the question I get
Yeah,
from
bro, she really don't
church
like that. But
people.
he said if she
Will
dated a
you
girl, she
accept
dated a
your
girl, she don't
kids
really mess
if
with
they
that, bro.
ever come out?
She don't
Will
really
you
mess
still
with
love
that,
them,
guys.
or
I'm
will you
telling you,
disown
bro.
them? That's
It's
my
like my
that's my
son
favorite word,
saying,
disown.
he-
Black people never think about owning people.
Started dating a
So,
boy.
bottom line is that's
I'll
my
be like,
baby.
If I said,
I may disagree with her.
If you date a boy, you
I
date
may
a boy.
not
Now, that mean I'm
embrace
serious, bro.
everything that
My
she does,
son, my
but
son
I
and daughter
embrace
are my favorite.
and I love my daughter. I came to terms with it, and I have to continue to come
But you gotta
to
accept your
terms with
kid
it
for what
because
it is, though.
it's step
You
by
see what I'm
step.
saying?
I'm not going to lie and
It's like
say,
having a
"Oh, I'm
child.
fine with everything," because that's what
It's
we're
a
forced
different
into
version
an
of you, though,
either
like
or,
he's saying.
and I refuse to do
Either
that.
JV
I am
version,
great
a
in a
varsity
lot of
version,
areas.
or a ninth
When it
grade
comes to
version,
my
or eighth
children, I
grade
want to
version, bro.
discuss it more and more and more. I may
baby
never
version.
come around 100%. As long as she knows, I'm still here for her 100%. And
Thanks.
again, she is her own person. She's independent, makes her own decisions.
And you're okay with that?
If I had a magic wand, I think I would take the embracing, rather than, I feel like it's a little bit like hate the sin, love the sinner. And it's like, okay, sorry, I'm putting words in your mouth, I'm sorry. But that's a little of the energy I get, but it's like, oh, I'm not 100% cool with you being with a girl, but I'll still love you through it. Knowing that you're not 100% backed up kind of sucks, but also I am grateful that she's trying, and she's come a long, long way from when we were kids. If I had come out 15 years ago, this would be very different.
Yeah, facts.
So
my mom
yeah,
homophobic too. My
I'm
sister,
good
she
with it
kind of
right now.
gay.
Heather,
mom
your
homophobic,
nectar
but she
profile
accepted
says
of
you
it.
are hypersexual.
I don't really understand it.
Oh my
What?
God. Mom.
Wait, what? Hey, it's no big deal. I'm that way too. It's all good. You and me. It's good.
Sorry, let's skip this.
Hi.
Dang, man, so much
You're
ass,
the
bro.
wireless company with nothing to
God
hide.
damn.
Seriously. Hidden fees?
There are times I needed you, but didn't want to bother you. Make your split decisions in 3, 2, 1.
I feel like the moms can
All
say
right, go
yes
ahead
to
and
that a
turn
lot.
around.
Yep, I told you the moms can say yes to that a lot. Moms go through a lot.
Rachel, I'd love
emotionally
to
with their
start with
kids.
you.
Yeah. I can't think of like a specific time, I guess, but I feel like you will do everything to come to my rescue and help me with whatever I
They
need
look
to
just
do.
alike, man.
And I know sometimes that like even if
That's what
it's
I
like
said.
very
See, she
difficult
got
for you
older.
to do that.
So she
But
the
I know
JV
you have
version
a
of her
lot
now.
you're
She the
dealing with
varsity
in your
version.
own life, in your own space, and so I try to solve my problems on my own when I
Yeah.
can,
I feel
and then
that.
lean on
Facts.
you when it's too much
Is it
for
12
me to
o'clock,
kind of
guys?
hold.
I
She's
could've
so
posted this
strong.
video, but I was
Like
gonna
this
post it
woman
already.
is
It's only
badass,
10
and
something, guys.
she runs her own company.
just
She
scared
has
the
all
video.
these like employees
Yeah,
that
I'm
she's
just
bossing
scared the
around
video.
and just like running the world. So of course there's a lot of like I want to be that too, and I want to show you that I can be that too. And ooh, I'm getting emotional. And whew.
What are you crying for,
But
man?
baby girl,
Get some balls.
it's okay to be vulnerable and ask for help and all of that other stuff. So
Y'all be crying before y'all
and
get to the
in
point,
some ways,
though,
it makes
man.
me feel sad if that's the
like
role
a little
model,
girl.
if the interpretation of a strong woman role model is that then you can't be soft and vulnerable, then we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And
Facts.
so let's all please make a pact that just because we all have our strengths and we can all be these badass people, we still get a pass at, man, having bad days and needing help from each other and calling. So,
And I think it's
asking for
like
help.
me learning where my limit is and learning like, okay, maybe I shouldn't wait to get to that limit to calling you and reaching out.
Is it
and
because you don't
whatever.
want to be a burden, or you don't want to?
I think it's more like I want to know that I can do it on my own. And that
Yeah,
can
that's how I
solve
be
it
like.
on
I
my
sometimes
own.
don't tell people what I'm going through, guys. So I be going to like
burden
wanna,
part,
like,
I don't
wanna
think
be
in
bringing
that
on to people. You don't
aspect,
want to bring negative
like I don't
energy
think
on
I
to people.
feel
'cause
like a
energy
burden to
transfer,
you
gang.
as much.
That's what I'm saying. But you be
If
around
there's
a
anything
depressed
related
person
to a
all the time,
burden,
you're
it's
happy, but
probably
you end
like
up being depressed,
I
bro.
try to
You
pay
not
for
even
my
know
own
why,
things
bro.
because I don't want to I don't want you to have to hold the burden for paying for school for me or for car insurance or phone bills or
Yeah,
stuff.
bills
Like
are tough
she
too,
does
gang.
pay for some stuff for me still, and I'm like so appreciative of that. But I also tried to like kind of take on that financial independence on my own as early as I could, as again like another kind of sign of
I'm the
respect.
type of guy,
for, like,
guys.
what you
I'm
have
not
done
gonna
to raise
ask nobody
me.
for money. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm the
So
type of guy.
yeah, I
don't
definitely
like
get
asking
to
people
my
for money,
limit,
bro.
and
That's
I'm
just
still
not me.
learning
Like,
where
my
those
friend,
limits are.
like, the
for
thing
sure.
about her, bro.
And I'm always appreciative. when you're there to help me through it.
she be having bottles and getting drunk, be going to party at nighttime.
Heather,
but
your
texting me all
mother
the
is
time.
on yes.
You got
TMI.
$20.
I
Listen,
think I
friend.
do.
Listen.
Yeah,
Listen.
my mom is.
You got life
recently
messed
in
up, man.
therapy. Can I share?
You
that?
need your party straight. Don't text me. Do you have $20?
No.
But you post on the story.
Okay,
You twerking outside. You outside having a good old time.
I am also
need
in
money from
therapy,
me,
and
though.
I think for years,
It ain't doing shit.
like
See,
once I started
I love
learning
you,
about
sis.
myself, I started to
But
see
you
the
gotta
signs
get
in
your
my mom
priorities
that like
straight.
something wasn't right. Just growing
Sometimes
up,
you
just
can't make
something
every event, man.
was a little off.
It's okay.
With how we handled conflict
It's
mostly,
okay.
and I just knew like there was something, and I wanted her to go so badly to figure that out, but. Until she went, I think she didn't know who to turn to. She didn't want to put that on her kids, so we didn't understand where it was coming from. We just experienced the brunt of it, and it was confusing. But she has told us time and time again she doesn't want to bother us.
The brunt of it.
We didn't handle conflict well. We were a little explosive growing up, and we're all getting better. We've all worked on it. It was loud. When we were angry, we got loud, like the whole family. And yeah, I've worked on it. She's worked on it. But it was just like, okay, this is coming from somewhere, but no one really knew where, and it was confusing.
Is that what you were standing on yes for?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I still don't share a lot. But since she
Yeah,
talked
she
me into
sound
going
like
to
she
therapy,
aggressive,
it's
man.
been awesome
sound like she
to
don't
talk
go
to
for the
someone
BS
that's
job.
completely unattached. And because in the black culture, and I'm speaking generally, I don't know if everybody does it, but most black families have a strong pecking order. And who's at the top, you don't mess with them. You don't talk about them. You don't call them names behind their backs.
Yeah, facts,
you
but
don't
black
talk about
people,
your mom
they-
to your
they-
best
they-
friend.
they got a
You
way-
don't
they
say
got
that
words
stuff.
to go back,
and
but
you
black
certainly
people got
don't
the
talk
mouths
to your
on them, bro.
children about
Black
your
people probably
parents
the most raised that
growing
talk
up.
shit,
You just
bro. I ain't
don't
gonna
do that.
flex to
So
you.
it's a strong
We talk so much that shit
tie
is crazy.
on me in the black culture where you just do not do that. And so she's talked me into going out and finding somebody to talk to.
Izzy, do you know why your mother's on yes?
No, I actually am very curious to hear this. This is a shock.
You know, this is the price I have to pay for not feeling responsible for her happiness and not wanting her to be responsible for my happiness. So I'm standing here because there's no such thing as black and white, and there's no right decision, there's no wrong decision, there's only consequences to your actions. And this is the consequence, is that if I share everything with you, that's a lot to carry.
I love this woman.
I know, y'all are similar.
I absolutely love
That's
her.
right, I think.
Best friends after this.
I actually have a question because it sounds like some of you have been through divorces or
In the process.
in the
I don't care,
process,
guys.
even
Did
better.
anybody ever last
So
together?
this
Like,
this
who
has
cares?
been
Haven't got a
something
divorce
that was
yet.
very difficult between my daughter and I.
Like, but it's like you get
Again,
married
my
now, but
daughter,
everybody's
best
getting
friend,
divorced.
love her. She's so smart.
actually lasts
She was a
now?
witness to my marriage.
It's like every marriage,
So
somebody
who
gonna
better to
And I one of
help
the
me
ones
through
that marriage us still together.
And yet I
If that person
felt
found out
that
they didn't
conflict
cheat. You know what I'm
of,
saying?
is this the right thing to talk about
what I'm
with
saying?
my daughter? Do I burden her
I just
with
wonder,
this
man.
big decision
Is marriage
about
even
a
real at this
divorce,
point, my nigga?
knowing like we have
It's
these
like
different
everybody getting a
relationships.
divorce.
It's her father. She loves her
What's the
father.
point of me getting married
She's
if I'm
my
getting
best
divorced, my
friend.
baby?
I need her. I know
Most
that her
likely
voice will
85%
bring me
of
a
people
lot
get
of
divorced.
wisdom.
A good 15
And I
not.
handled it in a certain way. Don't know if it was the right or the wrong way. But I would be
have,
very
like,
interested to know how
three
you
wives,
guys go through
ex-husband,
that.
like,
Do
two
you bring
ex-husbands.
your daughters
That's
into
crazy.
when you went through a divorce or when you're going through a divorce? Do you use them as counsel?
I lied to her at first. Actually, that's what I lied to them about when I was leaving their dad.
Oh, yeah.
You lied to her.
I lied to my children when I left my husband. And I told them we were going to go on a vacation and visit their favorite cousins, and that we was going to be for the entire summer, so they should pack all of their favorite things. And then I left their dad.
And you took the kids?
And I took my children. And that was 2010, and we moved into a hotel.
How old were they?
Taya, it was pretty devastating for her, too. I think you were 10 or 11. We were
Damn.
gonna go,
Yeah, I think I was 10.
it was
Taya, what was
right
it?
after fifth
Hotel?
grade, going into sixth
Man,
grade.
take
Right.
me back.
What was that like for you?
Man,
I
hell
think
no.
something in me knew, because I'm like a little bit older, but I still was like in a little bit of denial, and I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna go hang out with my cousins for the summer. We do that all the time. Like we always come up
Yeah.
to LA and hang out with family.
But you gonna know if your parents breaking up, that you can see it,
But
bro.
when I realized
seen
that it
my
had happened,
parents
I was like,
broken up,
dang,
bro.
like,
That junk was bad.
so summer's about to end, which means I'm gonna have to make all
They
new
ain't want to sleep in the
friends.
same bed.
Yikes. And I'm like this tiny little brown girl with a gap at the time because I didn't have braces, wearing Birkenstocks and talking crazy, like, because I'm from Oregon, and these people are gonna make fun of me, like, oh, this is gonna be great. And I think it was devastating because I didn't know like when
You
we
got
were
your
gonna
mom
see
player
my
build.
dad.
This ain't my type of
Again?
player
Were
You
build,
close
though.
with him?
Oh yeah,
That ain't my
besties.
type player build.
Besties.
I
And
wouldn't
it
crush.
was also really
Just
confusing
for
for
the
me because
crush.
my mom is like the type to, like, she'll never say anything bad about my dad, like, because they're also best friends. They were, you know what I mean? And so I love that because I don't have to deal with like having to choose sides or like
Yeah, that's kind of tough, guys.
feel
When your
like I'm
parents
hearing
break up, you
negative
gotta
things
choose
about
sides,
someone
see
who I
one
love
crying.
and put on a
That
pedestal
junk
just
tough,
as
bro.
much as her.
I always know my
But it
worst
was
enemy,
confusing
though,
for me
you
because
know
I was
what
like,
I'm saying?
okay, so we left him for good, so it seems. I'm about to start sixth grade. But
How many
you have
years?
nothing bad to say about him, at least to us.
All right,
So
here we go.
I was confused. I was
24
hurt.
minutes, guys. The
I was
video almost over
scared
there. This
to
video
make all
went
new
by hella
friends. But
fast.
I knew that at the end of the day, like, I needed to stand by you and empower you to feel like you made the right decision because I
Yeah,
also
'cause
didn't
when my
want you to
parents
have to
broke up,
like
my mom, she was
regret
crying.
putting
She was
you
devastated, bro.
first.
I
It
low
was
key
a
didn't know I
really
was
bad
young, too, shit.
relationship.
Yeah.
I just
My
want some
ex
McDonald's, you
was
see
a
what I'm
really,
saying?
really bad
Large fry,
partner,
2
but an
cheeseburgers.
amazing father.
That's the number 7,
And
bro.
so
You
I
didn't
had
know.
to give my children the space to love us both,
Mm-hmm.
and then try to explain to little children that it was okay and that we both loved them, but we couldn't love each other
Yeah,
anymore.
y'all
It was
couldn't
a very
figure it out.
unsafe place for me.
But I wasn't done,
that
bro.
my
I
daughter
knew-
sometimes
I
had
knew
to
what breakups
rescue me
was, bro.
from,
Think
and
about
it
it, but
was
everybody, I ain't stupid, though.
pretty painful to decide. I thought I was doing
She
the
had
right
to
thing.
rescue you.
My husband beat me very bad, almost to death one time, and the only thing that saved me was on Taya's cell phone. She called 911.
Oh.
And that's when I knew I needed to
Dang,
make a
bro.
change. But I thought I was doing the right thing. I
Dang.
wanted to give my children
Used to get
a
beat.
two-parent home. I wanted them to grow
I
up
would have
with
moved
their
into a
mom
hotel,
and
too,
their
bro.
dad. So when it was time to go, I
Man.
just didn't want to cause them any
Bro,
more pain.
imagine you was getting beat by you killed
So
your
I called my
parents,
cousin,
their
and
parents.
she
How would
said,
that?
"Come
Would that be
to
crazy?
LA,
Did anybody
we'll
experience
figure it
that?
out."
Your parents used to get beat on, they took the other person.
And we stayed in a hotel for 9 months, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever, like Sweet Life of Zack
That
and
is
Cody.
wild, though. Why men are so abusive?
Riding
man?
around on the
Like,
little
men
trolley
are
thing.
abusive.
Who knew? You know?
What have you done? Was you cheating?
But I didn't want to cause
It's
them any more
still
pain,
not right, man.
and
It's
their
still
dad
not right.
is still a
It's still not
phenomenal
right.
person to them. We've moved through that. About 7 years later, we learned he was actually diagnosed with schizophrenia, and a lot of things started
Oh,
to make
yeah.
sense. I'm definitely super honest with him now. If you're going through that, I say be honest with them. At
Yeah, that's
this age,
schizophrenia. They be
appropriate
hearing
age.
stuff, guys.
It goes back
That
to
jump
the
trooper,
other
my
question
brother
as far
got
as
that.
how much do you share, I don't, was that the question?
understand.
Who knows what the
I don't, that was a long
My
time ago,
friend
but
used to have
yeah,
this on the
just
baseball team.
not
He used to
burdening
he used to
her
mess with him bad.
or the other
He
kids
used to say he heard
with what
noises
my
and a
husband and
whole
I are
bunch
going
of
through.
stuff, though.
And I
I
want
miss
them
that
to
guy. I
continue
hope
to
he's
love
okay.
their dad.
Bingo.
I don't want
Sis, bro, I
anybody
love
to
you,
pick
dog.
sides. That's not what it's about. So my movement was definitely make sure they continue to love their dad. And their dad and I have decided we're going to move through this thing, continue as a family, and we have.
You have a bad habit that worries me. In 3, 2, 1.
I'm a therapist who
Man,
goes with
dang,
it.
man.
And some people
A
think
bad
that's
habit
strange.
that- well, I
The
wonder
thing
what's
is,
a bad
though,
habit my
therapists are
mom
human
got.
beings just like you. If you've been
Okay, go ahead and turn around. I love that all the mothers are like, yep, got some bad habits. Okay, but let's start with the one daughter that is on yes.
I think you get really into diet culture, and it's good.
I don't even know
most
what that
of the
means,
time. I
guys.
think. I mean, you're super
What the
healthy,
hell is a
super
diet
fit.
culture?
But sometimes
shut up.
I worry that it's not as good on your own body
Diet
positivity.
culture?
Well, even though I would love to get on Ozempic, there's no doctor that would prescribe it. So you are correct. I am always looking for the latest fad.
All right. Heather, you moved to yes, by the way. Yeah, she
I mean,
does
yeah,
have-
she
When I
right
heard
here
diet
playing
culture,
straight the
yeah.
lady,
Okay.
Yeah. What?
I really don't
I mean,
understand
I
it,
get
but
on you about this.
I
I
get
feel
it a
like we
little
just
bit,
talk
though.
about bodies too much and what's wrong here and all that. And I would like you just to love yourself now, not when something changes.
You have defined the way I see the world. 3, 2, 1.
You don't know how I see the world, but I see the world as like a big, growing thing. I
Okay,
feel like, bro,
go
people
ahead
grow
and
up.
turn
I
around.
feel like we're put on this earth to reproduce, bro. That's why I feel like when
You've
we
shown
die,
me
we
how
become
much
babies
of a
again. We
badass
become a new
woman
gender. I
can
just
be
feel like,
in the
bro, I feel
world,
like we
and
keep
how to
reproduce. I
hold
believe in
yourself
God
as
too, though.
that kind of
So
amazing
I
woman.
kind of don't know because I don't
that
think in the
definitely
Bible
from a
they
young
believe
age,
in
helped
reincarnation.
shape the way I
don't
approach
know.
the world and the way
I don't
that,
know yet. I don't
I
know.
tried to live my life.
Maybe I need to
and
go
love myself.
do my digging.
Thank you
know?
for that, baby.
I mean, you made me a mother. So it changed how I defined family
she's
and it
definitely like
changed
the
how I
JV version of
understand
this
love.
lady.
And
I mean,
that
she's the
has
varsity
changed
version of this lady. This
everything
lady old
about
now.
my life.
To live in a great world like I do is to not allow anyone to define your world, but rather you let a lot of people define your world, because for you to define your own world is completely selfish. And so, no, you have not defined it, you've expanded it.
Feels like it would be a lot of pressure to be your life definition, I think. And you've massively influenced my life. I think that's impossible for you to be my mom and not have shaped me hugely. But yeah, I'm defined by my mom, my dad, my brothers, all my friends, my experiences, my breakups, all of that has defined me.
That does define a person.
My dog.
A person, yeah. That's true.
And especially Rocky.
He's not kidding.
Nah, not really.
Thank
not
you
really,
all
not really.
so much. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for. So, from the bottom of my heart and everyone
video's over.
watching right now, thank
Hey,
you
it
for
was
your
30
honesty.
minutes. Same, good video. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all talk to y'all parents and be brutally honest. Honestly, bro, I want to tell my mom, my mom, I love her and everything. But mom, you get on my nerves. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just finna graduate, and day by day, she makes me want to move out the house even more, my nigga. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm starting to get tired of being here. Don't think this is holding me back. I'm not ready to take on bills. You know what I'm saying? But I'm tired of getting yelled at. Take off this trash. Do these dishes. Well, that's normal though. I like to be clean anyway. But I'm just saying, bro. Mom, I love you, but sometimes leave me alone. Y'all know who my name is. Bye, friends.